On today's episode, we're going to be talking about is prioritizing your brand. As a brand owner, it's very important that you do that. In this episode, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why it's important for you to prioritize your brand. There's many more reasons why you should, but these are my 3 reasons that I pick out. And it's going to be basically talking about 1, your brand reputation. 2 is building your customer satisfaction, and 3, increasing your sales through your growth and what have you. So this going to be my 3 reasons why that I talk about in this episode, man, when it comes to prioritizing your brand. But other than that, man, tap into episode number 25, man, season number 2. Yep. Grand rising, man, to all my investors self out there, man. Thank y'all for tapping in with me on another episode of this Invest Brand Podshow. Guys, this is officially season number 2. We starting out with episode number 25. This is once again officially season number 2. Thank y'all for tapping back in with me on Monday. This is the first official episode in 4 weeks. I had to take a break. Get ready for more content for season 2 and what have you. So definitely thank you for being patient with me. I'm just a one-man team over here, so I'm trying to do some rebranding, get some new product up and what have you in the Invest brand atmosphere. So thank y'all for being patient with me. Like I said, this is season number 2, episode number 25, and today topic that we're going to be talking about is prioritizing your brand, which is very important to do. But before I get into the topic today, you know what to do, man. If you are watching this playback of the show on our Invest brand TV YouTube channel, what have you, make sure you hit the subscribe button as you see in the back. Subscribe. Also hit the like button. Make sure you hit the like button, man. So we definitely want to be recognized in the algorithm and what have you. It's very important to do that. And also, if you are listening to this, on our on Spotify and what have you, make sure you hit the follow button so you can be notified when a new episode drop of the Invest Brand Pod Show and what have you. It's very important to do that. And also, I definitely want to make this announcement again. The investbrand.com, investbrand.com is not up right now. I'm still doing a little bit rebranding, a little bit touches, getting some more product, getting ready for the site, man, trying to gear up for this next wave of a quarter coming up and what have you. So, it's a lot of things going on. Like I said, once again, man, I'm a one-man team over here, and I definitely thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all for just being patient with me and what have you. So I'm definitely get that back up in these coming weeks. Definitely working on some new things, new ideas and what have you of the investbrand.com and what have you. But other than that, man, guys, you know what it is, man. I'm going to take a quick commercial break, and I'm definitely going to be right back with the segment Quote Me on That, where I read you a quote and then I explain to you what I mean by the quote. But other than that, man, make sure y'all tap back in with me, man. Episode number 25, Invest Brand Pod Show. Yep. Invest Brand was created on the concept of investing and motivating people while they pursuing their goals. Our streetwear brand was created to embody what we represent and what we stand for. Invest Brand is more than a brand. It's an investment. And welcome back to the Invest Brand Pod Show, man. Thank y'all for tapping back in with me on the show today. Like I said, man, today's episode we're going to be talking about is prioritizing your brand. But before I get to the segment, it's time for the segment Quote Me on That, where I read you a quote and I explain to you what it means. So for all my guys out there, for all my people, might as well say out there, man, investing in yourself, people out there pursuing goals and what have you, people looking for motivation and what have you. Today quote for today segment is be confident in your ability and not your doubt. Let me read that once again, just in case you didn't catch it, understand it, or hear it. The quote one more time is be confident in your ability and not your doubt. So basically what the quote mean is be confident in your ability, because we all have abilities to be great. We all have abilities to create something that is special, but most of the time we create doubt within ourselves, and we're so confident in the doubt that we have that we created within ourselves, and just telling ourselves that we can't do it, we don't have the ability to do it, what have you. We're so confident in knowing that we can't do it that we just neglect and forget the confidence that we should have in our ability to be able to do it, and what have you. So that's basically what the quote means, man. Be confident in your ability and not your doubt. Don't let your doubt set in to be your reality, because it's not your reality. Your reality is you create something off of your abilities that's going to be people want, and what have you. So that's what's important, man. Guys, man, make sure you stay confident in your ability, because we all have the ability to be great, but it's just a small portion of us that know how to tap into that greatness of our abilities to be able to create something that is great that people need, and what have you. But other than that, man, that's the segment. Quote me on that. Like I said, man, today's topic is prioritizing your brand, because it's very important as a brand owner to prioritize your brand, because this is something that's going to take your brand and put it in the in the right direction of longevity and what have you. See, a lot of time we fall out of focus on what we should be doing, and that's prioritizing our brand, making sure our brand is going to be able to start off strong, rather than neglecting the things that we need to do in order for our brand to grow and what have you. Give our brand legs for it to be able to stand on, so it can be able to move forward and what have you. So it's very important to prioritize your brand, right? I know sometimes life get real, and sometimes we do get sidetracked on the things that we should do, right? But other than that, man, don't allow anything to stop you. But like I said, I got 3 things. That's why it's just me. My 3 things that I picked out, 3 things that I chose, that I'm gonna give you, that makes it why it's so important to prioritize your brand. It's more out there reasons and what have you why you should do it, but these are 3 reasons that I came up with, that I chose and what have you, to let you know, man. Number 1, the first thing when it comes to prioritize your brand, what's so important to do it, is your brand reputation, because your brand reputation is everything. You don't want to start out building a bad reputation for your brand, because that's going to be something hard to come back from, because once people get the notion of your brand is not trustworthy, your brand doesn't stick by their word, your brand doesn't operate with integrity, the service is poor quality and what have you, it's going to be hard to come back from that. You're really going to have to do a relaunch and give out product for free. You're going to have to go a great length of doing things to get the trust of people again, what have you. So when it comes to your reputation, your brand reputation, that's number 1 on my list, is your brand reputation. The most important thing is your service, your quality of service, your value of service, your products, your goods, your service that you provide and what have you. So it's very important, because you want to give your customers the experience that you promise them, right? You don't want to promise them an experience that's going to be something that's going to be a great experience when ordering from your brand. You want to make sure you stay true to your word, right? Because your word is everything when it comes to your reputation. You promising your customer things that's going to make them want to buy, and once they buy into your brand and order from you, from the time they order something from you to the time they get it, the experience is bad. Now, the stuff that you promised them to get them to buy is now out the window, right? They feel like it's like a switching bait. They're not getting the things that you promised them, right? You promised them quick service, right? And the service turned out it was longer than expected. We know things happen, right? But your communication wasn't there. But communicate to them everything's going to be fine and what have you. Or like I said before, you promised them that it's quick service and the service wasn't quick. And once they got their product, right, the product wasn't of quality. It wasn't a value that you promised on your site. It wasn't the quality that they seen on your site or what you had on or what have you. And when you was promoting your brand, the stuff that you have within your brand and what have you, right? So you want to make sure you are delivering a positive reputation of your brand because, like I said before, you do not want to start out with a bad reputation. That's why it's so important to prioritize your brand because these are things that's going to be very important that you structure when it comes to your brand, right? If you are a brand owner and you're now have a team or what have you, this is going to be something important for you to stress. Very important for you to stress towards your team that this reputation is something that's going to be first, making sure everybody is on task of how you want the service to be, the experience of the customer to be, might as well say, when they are supporting your brand, buying into your brand and what have you. You want to make sure everybody is on the same page of that, right? Because one thing can cause your brand to have a bad reputation and what have you, and that's something hard to come back from once your brand have a bad reputation. Because understand one thing, customers want that ultimate experience that you promised them, where you have a lot of brand owners out here, right, that promise customers a lot of things that they don't deliver on and what have you, right? Over promising and under delivering, right? It's all bad from the start and what have you, right? You have some brand owners promise quick times, quick turnarounds, and customers might not get their product until another 3 to 4 months down the line and what have you. Some might not even receive it at all, right? Whereas communication is bad from that brand. And or once they receive the quality or receive the product from that brand, the quality isn't good at all. So they wasted a lot of time waiting for their brand, waiting for their order and what have you. And once they got it, the value that was promised to them is all bad. See? And the thing about that is, sometimes as customers, they may be able to forgive you, even though, they had to wait for a long time for their product and the experience of them ordering from time they ordered to getting a product wasn't that great. But once they got their product, it was of quality. It was of value, right? And sometimes that can, help you out because, when it comes to some people that buy from you, customers and what have you, people support you. If they, even though it took a long time for them to get it, the quality was there. Once they got it, they love the quality. They love the product that they receive and what have you. So that can ultimately change the mind of the customer in a way they feel, what have you, right? So you got to understand reputation is something that's very big when it comes to your brand. It's something that you got to be very, very, very honed on in. You got to be in it, right? You got to be focused on your reputation because that's big. It's very big when it comes to your brand reputation. And number 2 on my list is customers satisfaction and what have you, right? That's very important to build within your brand is your customer satisfaction because your customer want to be satisfied, right? When it comes to your brand, that's something you got to prioritize is your customer satisfaction. You want to give your customer that ultimate experience from, like I said before, from the time they buying something from your site to when they receiving it. You want to make sure the communication is there. Any problems may occur. Understand this is the real world, right? Especially when things the way things been going, you might have delay in orders, shipment, and what have you. You want to make sure your service of communication is there, especially when it comes to your customer, right? And it's got to be in your delivery too. That's going to be very important, right? Your delivery times, making sure they get on, because it's very important that you are very consistent when it comes to your customer, because you don't want them to have one experience that's great. The next time they order from you, they have a bad experience. The next time they like, okay, I'm gonna take a chance on them. They have great quality. I like their product. Then they may have not so good experience the third time, but it's not to the point that it was bad. So you don't want to have inconsistent type of your customers to have inconsistent type of experience when they order from you. You want to keep everything consistent from the time they order in to the time that they are getting it. So it's very important that you understand that, man, because you want to be able to resolve issues in a timely manner when it comes to having any type of issues, like I said, with delay in the orders, or you are waiting for some product to come in so you can be able to continue with making sure you fulfill their order and what have you. So you want to be able to communicate with them. Is very important. That's very key, to be able to resolve issues in a timely manner, because you don't want to have issues still out there and you're not informing your customers at all. Because you got to understand, as brand owners, yes, problems do arise. But what I do, I make sure I communicate that with my customers. You will be surprised where customers would not be upset. They'll be understanding, like, okay, thank you for letting me know what's going on. Thank you. I appreciate it for you communicating that with me. But see, a lot of times you have people thinking that the customer is going to be upset. They're going to ask for a refund, or they're going to blast your brand, going to give you a bad rating and what have you. No, most people are understanding. All you have to do is communicate that with them. Give them a choice. Don't take it away from by not telling them, right? So that's very important that you resolve issues in a timely manner, and you want to be very professional about how you conduct your business, your services, because it's all about your customer satisfaction. Because you don't want to have unsatisfied customers. Don't get me wrong. It's hard to satisfy everyone, right? You can do everything great. Make sure your communication can be great with your customer. Your professionalism can be great with your customer. You got some people out there, it's just don't matter what you do, they just unhappy with any little thing. They will find any little thing to be unhappy about. But long as you are sticking to your standards, or sticking to what your brand policies are and what have you, that you have put in place for your customer, your standards for your customer satisfaction, what have you, as long as you sticking to what you need to stick to, everything's going to be fine. You want to make sure your customer satisfaction is number one, right? Like I said, your reputation and your customer satisfaction goes hand in hand. Those are two things that's very important when it comes to prioritizing your brand. It's very important to prioritize your brand. Those are the things that's important to implement when you prioritizing your brand. Making sure your reputation is one of the things that you prioritize as far as your brand, and your customer satisfaction. You want to make sure you're building a system that's going to not leave any customers unsatisfied. Just communicate in a timely manner and let them know. Don't wait 2-3 weeks and the issue already been there, and you waiting 2-3 weeks later to communicate that with your customer, right? So it's very important to do that in a timely manner. And you definitely want to be, like I said, you want to be consistent with your service. You don't want to have you give your customer a great experience to turn around, give them a bad one, to turn around again and give them a mediocre experience, what have you. You want to be consistent in delivering when it comes to your services and your product and what have you, because you got to understand, when you leave your customers with great satisfaction and what have you, they will refer other people to your brand, right? People know people, and you don't know who people know. You might somebody might come to your site and buy from you, and they are overwhelmed. They are excited about the experience they got from you, from the communication, from the time they ordered to the time they got their product, the presentation of your product. Everything was just magnificent. That person might know five other people within the corporate world, within the entertainment industry, within sports and what have you. You don't know who might be buying from you, right? So when you give somebody a great experience, they will refer family members to you, colleagues, people, strangers, people, just different people in general. That will refer people that they feel like they can benefit off of your brand, what have you. So it's very important that you prioritize. When you prioritizing your brand, make sure your reputation is one thing that you prioritize. You make sure your customer satisfaction is another. And the third thing that we're gonna hone in on is increasing your sales through growth and what have you. This is very important when it comes to prioritizing your brand, is increasing your sales through growth, because you want to find ways to be able to grow your business, right? With different ideas, different products, different things that people might be able to benefit off of. People feel like it's going to add value to their life, because it's all about increasing your sales, right? That's very important to prioritize. When it comes to prioritize your brand, sales is another important thing that you must do. And you're going to increase your sales, especially as you grow, with as your brand grows and it gains more recognition and what have you. It's the sales going to increase, because more and more people going to start to know your brand, and more people is going to start to come to your brand because they feel like it's something that adds value to their life. It's something that's very, very important, because you got to understand, man, when you have a brand with a large community base of people that's within your community, that leads to great referrals within your community, because the people that's, like I said, that's within your brand and what have you, and especially if you have a strong team, they're going to help you bring in more people. They're going to help you increase your sales, right? They're going to help you grow your brand. They're going to help you get to where you need to get to far as a brand owner and what have you. That's why it's so important to prioritize your brand. See, a lot of us, we neglect that step of prioritizing our brand. It's like we look at our brand more as a hobby rather than a business, right? We look at it as a hobby, and so that we don't work on it every day like we supposed to. We don't do the things that we need to help our brand grow, right? That's just like you as a gardener. You're going to make sure you do everything to make sure your plants, make sure your plants and what have you is nurtured in a way that it's going to have the best ability, give it the best ability to be able to grow, blossom. And that's how you got to treat your business. You got to make sure it has the right ingredients, the right nutrients that it needs to grow and what have you. So if you're going to expect to increase your sales and what have you, you got to have strong leads. You got to have strong people within your team that can get out there and refer people to your brand and what have you, right? So it's very important that you be able to do that, right? Be able to have things of quality, right? Things of great detail, because it's very important, man, to increase your sales, because if you're not increasing your sales, how your brand going to be able to grow? It's all about continue to come up with more ideas, and you got to have the capital to be able to bring them ideas into fruition, so you can be able to sell to people value that they may need and what have you. So it's very important, man, that you have that you work on increasing your sales. That's something that you must prioritize, because you want to make sure you have quality products. It doesn't matter how much products that you have in your inventory and what have you, but if you have an inventory full of not so good quality products, then it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, right? Because you're not going to be able to make any sales producing bad quality and what have you. So you want to make sure you have quality products. You want to make sure you have strong leads. You want to make sure you have a strong team, people that can refer people to your brand and what have you. So it's very important as a brand owner to prioritize your brand. Those are three things that I chose. Three things that I think that would help you as a brand owner, right? Or you are an entrepreneur getting into the field of entrepreneurship and you're looking for things to help you stay focused and prioritize your brand. Looking how can you prioritize your brand? Looking at different little things. So those are three things, in my opinion, that it will help you, or three things that you can start with, right? In the beginning stages and what have you, making sure you are prioritizing your brand and what have you. Like I said, the three things that I have, let me go back over them one more time. First thing I had was building your reputation. That's something that's very important to prioritize, making sure you building a strong reputation for your brand. And number two is your customer satisfaction. It's very important. Number two, your customer satisfaction is very important to build, making sure you have a strong one. And number three is increasing your sales through growth and what have you. And that's very important, is increasing your sales. So those are three things that you can focus on when you're prioritizing your brand and you're trying to build a strong brand and what have you. So thank you guys once again for tapping into the Invest Brand Podshow. This is officially episode number 25, season 2. Starting off and what have you, season 2. So thank y'all for supporting the brand, man. Thank y'all for tapping back in with me. I know it's been a long 4 weeks. 4 weeks off of me, had to rejuvenate, get ready, gear up for season 2. New topics, new ideas, and what have you. So like I said, man, I'm only a one-man team. So thank y'all for being patient with me. Thank y'all for supporting the brand. This is going to be a big year for us. Got new ideas. So I just got some new equipment in. So it's time for me to get production started, guys. Man, you see what it is. Invest Brand Podshow. It's only going to get better and bigger from here, guys. Thank y'all for supporting once again. And investbrand.com is going to be back up soon. Just doing some rebranding, getting some new product. Getting some new product put up on the site and what have you. Got to get some content, do some content shooting for that, for the new product that I have in stock. So definitely, man, it's going to be a big one. So everybody hold on tight, man. Join the journey, man. Investbrand.com. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. You can go and join the Investor Self community on Facebook. Follow Invest Brand on Facebook and Instagram and what have you. So other than that, man, guys, man, tap back in with us every Monday. And also, I don't want to forget, we got the Invest Brand radio show. That's going to be coming back following Wednesday. We did a couple of pilot episodes. So next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, next Wednesday, I'm just going to, I'm going to try to do an Invest Brand radio show once a month. I know I said originally I wanted to do every Wednesday, but I'm going to try to do a radio show once or twice a month to start it off with, because I got a lot of stuff going on right now, so I don't want to add too much more to the plate. So the radio show once or twice a month, short shows and what have you. Just making sure everybody stay abreast of what's going on and what have you in the field of entrepreneurship. But other than that, guys, man, thank y'all for tapping back in with me. And I also thank you for tapping back in with me. And I'm out of here. Thank y'all. Yep.